Hey guys, so I wasn't planning on doing this video, but something came up this morning and everyone is curious, at least in my family. Some of you already know what I'm going to be talking about. I've discussed this with a few people. I won't be using ChatGPT for this, but we will be doing a lot of analysis, but I can do it. I'm going to do it on my own. So first thing I need to do is, I know you can't see this, I'm going to figure out what the etymology of concord is. It means harmony. So guys, there's a heater over there. I don't believe you can hear it, but it's on, it's cold in here. I wish I could have done this video sooner so it wouldn't be this cold, but I don't have much of an option. So, we've heard of concord before. It's concordia, which means harmony. It means, actually, this is interesting. Concord originates, and I'm reading this from Google AI, but I can see it. I can see it. It's showing me on here. It means the word concord originates from the Latin concordia, which means agreement and union, which we're already familiar with on this channel, which literally translates to hearts together, derived from com and cord, com meaning together and cord meaning heart. It entered Middle English via Old French concord in the 14th century, denoting a state of harmony, friendship, or agreement and opinion. So the Latin root word is concordia. That's interesting because you would think that concord would be the root word of concordia, but no, it's actually the other way around. I did not know that particular thing. The term was often used for communities like Concord, Massachusetts, to symbolize a desire for peaceful coexistence and unity. So, I'm going to try to show this. I don't want to mess this up. I don't have anything to block this with, so I'm going to have to use my hand and my fingers right here so I don't give out any personal information. So, I got a letter right here, as you can see. It just came this morning. And at first glance, filling this, there's a lot of ridges. I don't know if you can see that. I think, yeah, you can see it. Well, hang on. Let me turn off the background. I did move. Things have been cleaned in this area. There's no more dust. The dogs are not in here. And I was on this back wall, but I moved over here. I rearranged everything. There's no more dogs in here. And yeah, I'm back. I'm on the other side of the wall. It's just across from me. So if I turn this off, we're still working on things. This should all be done by, I don't know, maybe this week, next week. So yeah, I used to be in this corner right here. And all that right there, that's Starlink. So yeah, don't worry about all that. So as you can see, we got a lot of ridges on here. So this is not your standard typical letter. It feels a lot like a greeting card, if you know that texture. So the reason why I brought Concord up was because this is actually from Concord, California. I don't even know what that is. I had to ask somebody and they said it's Southern California. So I'm going to see if I can do something here so you can see why this is so strange. Okay, I'm trying to hide the personal information, but look at what it says on the top here. Let's see if you can zoom in on that. You see that? It says Department 922. What does that mean? That's what everyone's been wanting to find out. And under here is a P.O. box number. And then it doesn't give a street address. It doesn't give a name. It just says Department 922 and a P.O. box number. From Concord, California. I don't know. I'm going to analyze that, see what we can get. I have not opened this yet. I'm kind of nervous. I really don't know what to expect. There's 1,000 possibilities. Most are good. Some are a nothing burger. And there's a few things that could be like, this could be very bad. But, so this was sent to my P.O. box. And the interesting thing about this is I actually have 2 P.O. boxes. Well, kind of. I actually have a mailbox that acts like it's a mailbox, but it's not in part of the property. It's over yonder like a P.O. box, but it's not a P.O. box. The only people who have this P.O. box number is the U.S. government and the state of Arizona. That's the only 2. So I don't know who this is. Who also has a P.O. box. Very interesting. I don't know much about P.O. boxes, but what's interesting here is, so we got Department 922. That's all it says. With the P.O. box number, it looked... So when I look at this, I think of the number 13, Department 13. The reason I do that is because 9 plus 2 plus 2 equals 13. So it looks like, if I had to give a guess, it looks like it's a mask of, instead of department, it would be room 922. I mean, room 13. Because that would make more sense that a room number would be number 13. And department 922, that is so random. So I just added the numbers together. P.O. box. There was one theory that someone thought of, that this could be a portfolio firm, which, if you don't know, that's a debt collector. But I'm not entirely sure on that. It's possible that it could be I was thinking it could be a virtual business, but a virtual business would not be using I don't think they would be using a P.O. box number. They would be using an address tied to that business. So it looks like they're using, this is just a guess, it looks like they're trying to mask who they are. That's what it looks like, by using a P.O. box number and then using Department 922. But I really don't know what to make out of that, and it's very thin. It's, if I had to guess, maybe I think it might be one paper folded over. I don't know. I'm kind of nervous of opening this. I don't know. I don't know anyone in Concord. I don't know anyone in California. Nobody. I know someone who was born in California, but he moved to Canada. And he's never gone back to America since. The P.O. box number, that's so strange to me. And then when I look at the Department 922, which is DEPT, I'm guessing it's a 4-letter word like room. I just think that this could be something something. I don't know. I could just Google it and see what Department 922 leads to, but I don't think that's going to be fun. I think we could just do an analysis. So that's my analysis based on information given to me here. So we're going to open this together. I'm honestly, I don't know what to expect. Try not to destroy this too much. Could be portfolio recovery. I don't know. We're going to find out. All right. It feels like, you know, I can't remember, but it feels like I've gotten one of these before, but it wasn't like this. Wait, what's going on here? All right. All right. This would be from a portfolio recovery associates. I feel like I've gotten a letter from them before, but it wasn't like this. But now we know. Now we know how they do business. And you guys know as well. Very strange that it uses Department 922, Concord. Well, this is interesting. So it's sent from the P.O. Box, the Department of 922. But then it says down here, it gives the full name, and then it tells another P.O. Box in a different state. That's weird. What's this? Hours of operation. Now, right here, it shows the actual address they have. Interesting. That is very interesting to me. I don't know if these should be allowed to obfuscate their address like that, because you don't know where it's from, and I do feel like that's definitely shady when you try to mask yourself to PO boxes and departments like that. And I figured that was the case, although I wasn't too sure of being a debt collector, although it was definitely on the table. So yeah, this was, in my what's the word I'm trying to think of? In my personal opinion, or whatever, I don't know what I'm trying to think of. It's not an experience, but this is a nothing burger, basically. So I'm gonna go into Google and see what department, if it shows up on here. Well, that's strange. It actually shows up on here. Does it show that I already went to that? Because I didn't go to that. But it shows up in my Google search thing. In my Safari, it shows up on here. And there's a whole bunch of results right here. And I didn't even go to Google yet. So you've successfully made it into one of my videos. I've also gotten emails from these people. They've showed up quite recently. So yeah, it's a debt collector. It shows up on here on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, but Google. And I don't even get mail. I don't, So if I see something like that, let me put my background back on. So yeah, I hardly ever get mail, so I was not really expecting that. And people were wondering, what did I do to get Department 922? I was like, I don't know. But yeah, that's that. Look at my EcoFlow over here. It's not plugged in. I've gotta, like I said before, I gotta set up the electricity over here. I got my monitor and all that plugged in over here. On a side note, I did manage to get not only my camera, as you can see right here, it's my camera, but today I also got this. It's the lens to my camera. This was a lot of money. It was $500. It was over $500. So yeah, I got that and I got that. So I got the tripod. I got everything set up. So pretty soon you should be able to see me with that. I'm going to try to get that camera set up where I can actually do video. Although I might need to buy a HDMI to USB-C. I don't know how that all works, but I will be looking into it. And this can go in the trash can and deal with that later. What else? Not much is going on, but oh, well, I won't talk about it much in this video, but I kind of have, I might do something next year. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I'll end it here. And yeah, Apartment 922. That was what this video was about. We looked at a letter and tried to see what we could come up with. So I wish if someone sent me a letter that it would have like some sort of trail that I could go down and see things and all that, but nothing too interesting comes along. Like I mainly got to go by Facebook, all that nonsense, and that's pretty much my rabbit holes I have to go down. I go down. It's gotten to the point where it's getting pretty boring doing that. But there are some interesting things I think in history that eventually will come to me, and then I'll be able to analyze things from there. I do have one coming out. It's about Alan Turing, which it's interesting how it all goes together. it's not quite what you think. And I've never heard it explained like this before, so that's going to be a whole interesting thing. So I'll end it here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.